Good day, ladies and gentlemen online. Welcome back to the 2021 EEN Green and ICT Brokerage event. Today is the second day of the Green webinar. For today's webinar, it is our great honor to invite industry experts from E3 to talk about Taiwan's green environment. And we also have two speakers today from two different Taiwanese companies. First, let's welcome Dr. Mingshan Zheng, the Deputy General Director of Green Energy and Environment Research Laboratories at E3. Today, he will be presenting about green energy industry promotion and technology development in Taiwan. Dr. Zheng, the floor is yours.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mingshan from Industrial Technology Research Institute, or E3 in Taiwan. This presentation is about green energy industry and its technology development in Taiwan. Here is the outline. I will start with some background information, followed by the introduction of 5 specific topics in green energy, including both renewable energy and energy efficiency. Let me start with a background information of E3, which was founded in 1973. E3 is a non-profit research organization. Roughly 70% of the research funding is from the government. But we do have 30% of the funding from the industry, and therefore E3 has a very close link with local industry. Most of the research in E3 is market-oriented. We try to be the bridge between research and commercialization and as a powerhouse for the industry in Taiwan. Currently, the total number of research staff in E3 is a little bit more than 6,000. But if you took into account people like consultant, administrative staff, short-term workers, interns, and so on, the total number of people working in the E3 is more than 8,000. We have about 30,000 patents. Most of them are international patents. In the past 40 years, E3 has incubated 151 startup companies. And not only in Taiwan, E3 has branch offices around the world. We have office in Japan, in Moscow, in Berlin, Eindhoven. We also have a branch company in the US, in California. Now, this is about the energy situation in Taiwan. We imported about 97% of our energy, and 81% of electricity generation in Taiwan is from fossil fuel. That includes coal-fired power plant, LNG-fired, oil-fired, and so on. And most of the electricity is consumed by industry. Roughly 55% of the electricity is consumed by industrial sectors, followed by residential and service sector. The transportation sector today does not consume too much electricity, but we anticipate this consumption by transportation will increase rapidly in the next few years because the government has decided to promote electrical vehicles in the next few years. And since 80% of the electricity generation is from fossil fuel, you can imagine the greenhouse gas emission in Taiwan is not very good. I mean, the greenhouse gas emission we have a lot of room to improve. Actually, the government has a goal to reduce the greenhouse gas emission by 50% in 2050. That's enforced by law. It's in the law. But recently, the President of Taiwan has announced a new target. That is, we have to reduce all the greenhouse gas emission to 0 in 2050. That is to reach carbon neutrality by 2050. It's a very ambitious goal, and to achieve that goal, we have to increase, of course, renewable energy generations. But in the meantime, we will have to improve our energy efficiency. The target is to increase 2% of energy efficiency per year, and therefore we can cut 50% of our energy intensity by 2025. So in the next slides, I will introduce from renewable energy, including photovoltaic and wind energy. And for energy efficiency, I have chosen motor, compressor, and chillers for the introduction. This is the energy transition roadmap of Taiwan. Like I said, we will increase the renewables to roughly 20% generations in 2025. And we are going to phase out nuclear power. So by 2025, the nuclear power generation will be zero. And in the meantime, we will increase the generation by LNG and decrease coal-fired power plant. That's because of the reducing the carbon dioxide emission and also to reduce air pollution. So let me start from the renewable energy. The first topic I want to talk about is photovoltaic. The government goal is to have 20 gigawatt by 2025. And the government is promoting this photovoltaic installation through feed-in tariff and also by improving our grid, electricity grid infrastructure. The annual installation has increased from 1 gigawatt to roughly 2 gigawatt this year. And we will continue this trend and by 2025 to reach 20 gigawatt. The major barriers of photovoltaic installation in Taiwan is that we don't have enough land. We have very limited land area. And therefore we need to develop a very high conversion efficiency photovoltaic module so that we can have more electricity on the same land area. And another thing is the government is also promoting the integration of photovoltaic installation with other facilities, such as a fishery facility, so that they can use the same land with multiple purposes. And we also try to develop photovoltaic installation in non-arable land, such as salt field along the west coast of Taiwan, and also on saline area or severe land subsidence area, and so on. Here is one example of that very high conversion efficiency photovoltaic I just mentioned. This one was developed by E3. It's called TOPCon, or tunnel oxide passivated contact photovoltaic. We have a pilot production line in E3, and we can mass produce this with a module efficiency as high as 21.6%. That comparing to 21.1% for the best commercial product on the market. And this technology has been transferred to a company like Motec. They are now selling this high conversion efficiency product on the market. And another example is a very interesting photovoltaic module called dye-sensitized solar cell. Again, E3 is the first in the world to develop a fully automatic mass production line for this dye-sensitized solar cell. This kind of solar cell features very low manufacturing cost, lightweight, and very high efficiency at a low light environment, and therefore is very suitable for to power sensor network, for example, for indoor application to as a power source for IoT applications. You can see on the graph to the right, the red curve represents E3's mass-produced result. The horizontal axis is the illumination level indoor. You can see our products maintain a very high efficiency over a very wide range of illumination level. And here I show you the photovoltaic industry in Taiwan. Because the technology has been matured and we have a very strong supply chain in Taiwan, there are more than 300 companies in this area creating more than 30,000 job opportunities. You can find different kind of components and modules and the system in Taiwan market from upstream, for example, silicon wafer. We have a company like AEO Crystal for the midstream production. We have solar cell company and photovoltaic module companies such as Motec, United Renewable Energy. And for downstream components, we have a company like Delta, who can provide converters, inverters, and many components for system. And finally, we have system installation company. These companies appeared on Taiwan's market in recent years because of the government's promotion for photovoltaic installation. So you can find companies like Datong, Chinese Finance, and so on. So here I give you a full list of those EPC or engineer, procurement, and construction companies, or the so-called system company in Taiwan. Many of them are now entering Southeast Asia market. You can Google their names and to find out more details about every single companies. Here I also show you the market share of every single companies in Taiwan's market. And the next topic in renewable is wind power. You can see on the graph on the right, that's the map of Taiwan. And to its west, that's the Taiwan Strait. The red shadows represent the wind energy intensity. So you can see we do have very good wind conditions in Taiwan Strait. Actually, 16 out of 20 best wind farm or site are in Taiwan. And we estimated that for onshore wind turbine, the potential in Taiwan is 1.2 gigawatt. And for offshore wind farm, the potential for shallow water sea area is 11.2 gigawatt. By shallow water, I mean the water depth is less than 50 meters. And for deeper depths, for deeper water larger than 50 meters, the potential is 10 gigawatt. And this only take into account those sites within 12 nautical mile territory areas. If you look into beyond 12 nautical miles, of course, this potential will be much huge, much larger. But because of some political reason, currently the government does not have plan to go beyond 12 nautical mile. So the goal is to have 1.2 gigawatt onshore wind turbine by 2025 and 20.7 gigawatt offshore wind by 2035. The government started from onshore and gradually moved to offshore. And also the government started from shallow water, and now we move into deeper water area. And we also encouraged 2 demonstration wind farms a few years ago, trying to foster local industry and establish the supply chain in Taiwan. This picture is the very first offshore wind farm in Taiwan, which was completed in 2019 and started operation since then. The capacity is 128 megawatt. And we do have a second demonstration wind farm in Zhanghua. The total capacity is 109.2 megawatt. This was completed right now. We anticipate it to start operation in September 2021. And for technology, E3 developed a power prediction for wind farm. This is very important because Taiwan grid system in Taiwan is independent. We are independent from any grid system from the continent. And therefore, since the wind is intermittent in nature, those unstable renewable power generations becomes an impact to the grid stability. If the proportion of energy sources from renewable becomes too high, the grid stability is very difficult to maintain. And therefore, we need to predict the power output from wind farm. And using that information, we can better manage the grid system to maintain its stability. And also this information can help to forecast bad ocean conditions and therefore provide the decision support system for the wind farm operator. We also work with a local company called ETEC to develop some wind turbine maintenance technology such as bearing assessment and replacement, preventive diagnostic, CMS or condition monitoring system, SCADA, structural load analysis, and so on. So this company also helped Taipower to maintain the existing wind turbine. In one example, they were able to increase power output from 1.5 megawatt for a single wind turbine to 2 megawatt for that same wind turbine, and also to improve the availability from 65% to 96%. Here I give a full list of the industry supply chain of wind in Taiwan. I categorize these companies into four types. The yellow dot represent those component manufacturers, such as blade, generators, towers, and so on. And the green dot represent the underwater infrastructure providers. The blue dot is for electricity facilities, and the red dot is for marine engineering. So you can see those supply chains scattered around Taiwan. Again, you can Google their name and to find out more details, but basically there is a very complete supply chain for for both onshore and offshore wind in Taiwan. Now let me talk about the other part of the story, that is the energy efficiency. The first example is a new kind of motor developed by ITRI. We call it external rotor motor. Traditional motor has a shaft, and the shaft normally the shaft rotates. But in this external rotor motor, the shaft is normally fixed and the shell is rotating. This was especially designed by ITRI, and we use no rare earth magnet in these products. And we can generate very high torque at low speed, and stable, light, flat, and compact, and therefore it's perfect for applications such as a fan, especially in both in industry and household applications. We have a pilot production line for this external rotor motor in ITRI, and we also work with several local companies to develop a supply chain for this kind of motor. Companies such as Digitalisation, Hongxin, and Sailor. And these companies are now selling these external rotor motors to Southeast Asia. We adopt a strategy called open platform. That is, we modularize the design, so we have common modules that can be easily assembled by different companies to generate different types of motors for different applications. The efficiency was very high without the use of any rare earth magnet. It's even higher than Energy Star standards. And Energy Star is, I believe, the most advanced and high standard in the world for the energy efficiency of motors. And we are now trying to integrate more and more companies into this supply chain, and hopefully this external rotor motor will become a very contribute a lot to the energy saving in Taiwan and in other countries. And the next example is a scroll compressor. It's designed by ITRI. It's very high efficiency, mostly for air conditioning applications. Because it's lightweight, it's particularly suitable for electrical vehicle. Again, we established a complete supply chain of this kind of scroll compressor. We also established pilot production line for this compressor in ITRI's campus. We were able to produce more than 10K units per year for this kind of a scroll compressor. It's a horizontal type, so therefore the size can be reduced by 50%. We use aluminum alloy material, and the weight is reduced by 50%. And the design increases the energy conversion efficiency by 30%. Now this scroll compressor has already been installed in MRT air conditioning, and also in electrical buses for their air conditioners. The technology has been transferred to several leading companies in this area, such as Hanbel, Delta Electronics, and Kim Machinery. ITRI provides services such as customized design. We also provide precise manufacturing and assembly. We also do things like optimization, system integration, and like I said, we have a pilot production line. The final example is the chillers. ITRI has devoted into the the area of chillers for more than 30 years. And in the past 30 years, E3 has supported the establishment of Taiwan's chiller industry. So you can find all kinds of chillers and its compressors in Taiwan's supply chain. We have things like air-cooled chillers, screw chillers, centrifugal chillers, and we also, Taiwan companies also manufacture their compressors such as a scroll compressor and centrifugal compressor. And recently, E3 developed a new technology called active magnetic bearing. That is, the shaft is floating in the air during operation by magnetic forces. And therefore, there is no friction. You don't need any lubrication for this device. And the efficiency could be improved by more than 40%. We apply this active magnetic bearing technology to this chiller industry. So now the industry in Taiwan is able to provide products such as A and B spindle, A and B compressors, and A and B chillers up to 900 refrigeration ton. And this technology, A and B chillers, has been installed in more than 40 buildings in Taiwan. And after more than years of operation, they have proved that this technology is stable and robust and save a lot of energy. Okay, now here is the conclusion. First of all, I think a sustainable energy system requires long-term planning. And they also require technology innovation and industry integration. Taiwan's green industry is thriving because of the booming domestic market thanks to the government's promotion in renewable energy and energy efficiency. But the industry growth also relies on long-term investment in technology research. That's crucial for the continuous growth of industry. And lastly, E3 as a leading research institute, we work not only with local companies but also with international partners. We welcome all kinds of international collaboration. You can just contact E3 for technology requirement, and we can work together to advance green technology for a better future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Zheng, for giving this informative presentation. We hope that you all gain a lot of useful information from Dr. Zheng's talk and learn a lot about the growth of Taiwan green energy and technology development. And next, let's welcome Mr. Alan Tsai, who is Assistant Vice President of Seagull Energy. Today, he will be presenting about how the Seagull storage system is the solution for a new generation of power.
I'm honored to have this opportunity to be the presenter for Seagull Energy to introduce energy storage and the application to you today. Developing green power will be a trend to meet, protect environment for benefit human future. But green power generator output will not stable as traditional power generator. So storage system will become a key issue to solve this problem in the new age of generation of the power. Also, I am honored to have this opportunity to have your time in exchange our Seagull storage system solution to match your need in this new generation of power. In the generation end, storage system can be buffer of green power generation to smooth output for reduced power variability. Be controlled as small power generator through EMS as a smart distribute power network. Those functions will be a perfect solution to relieve loading of grid and avoid the damaged power distribution system when green power increase. In power distribution end, storage system can to absorb vibration of power in grid through charge in frequency high and discharge in frequency low to output the power for offset shortage of power of grid. In the loading end, storage system can to charge in off-peak period and discharge in peak period for keep loading under most efficiency labor and save electric cost to output the power to sell power for make benefit. Next, let me to introduce major element storage system. Storage system configuration includes three major elements: ESS, energy storage system. ESS is composed of batteries. The current main trend of the battery adopts lithium series batteries. As lithium batteries have high charge and discharge rate, long charge and discharge life, and high temperature resistance characteristics, they are very suitable for installation in harsh outdoor environment and energy storage operation that require frequently charging and discharging. The built-in BMS of the lithium battery can not only automatically monitor the battery to achieve safe operating, but also integrate its communication function and the EMS into a complete energy storage system operating monitoring. PCS, power condition system. PCS is a two-way regulation system for AC and DC power and can regulate current, voltage, power, frequency. According to the operation setting requirements, PCS also has the communication function, so it can also feedback the operating data to EMS. EMS will analyzing the data and giving commands to PCS to adjust the operating parameters and the condition based on analysis. EMS, Energy Management System. EMS can receive EES and the PCS feedback data for analysis and determine whether the system abnormal. When the system is abnormal, the EMS can issue an alarm to notify the management person to deal with it. And when the situation deteriorates further, it can directly stop part or all of the system to ensure system safety. Integrating ESS, PCS, and EMS can form a complete energy storage system to meet the different level of energy storage operation requirements, whether it is for person, residential, enterprise, building, factory, and grid type. I'd like to take this opportunity to share several application cases in foreign country and Taiwan for your reference. In Europe, several sales assets of energy storage system used to integrate PV power supply for independent workstation to Uzbek, and the 10 sets of energy storage systems are used for power regulation and PV power generation storage to South Africa. In other regions, several sales a container type energy storage system for smoothing PV power generation and power regulation application to Japan, and the builders integrate PV power generation in Taiwan as power conditioning for peak shaving and the energy lighting, emergency lighting power for building. In Taiwan, Seagull has built many cases, such as applied to PV power plant, energy storage, and the highway toll station backup power, and many other applications. Seagull developed a full range of energy storage products to meet all levels of energy storage application. Next, I will introduce Seagull energy storage system products to all of you. Seagull has developed a portable power supply which can charge by AC and PV. It is very suitable to be power source for entertainment and leisure activities. And its built-in lighting function can also be used in emergency. Seagull has also developed a mobile UPS to provide home and storage to power for equipment that require stable and uninterrupted power, such as respirator, computer equipment, refrigerator. Seagull develops a stackable energy storage system which can be expanded by parallel inverters and battery modules to meet the required power and battery capacity according to the customer's require. For high power energy storage and uninterrupted power application in factories, Seagull develops a system that requires 100 kilowatt electric power and the battery capacity above 100 kilowatt hours. Seagull has developed a container-type energy storage system to provide grid-tied energy storage application. It can be used for AFC, peak shaving, demand response, and other large power regulation. Thank you for your time and listen to my presentation. We are happy to learn more about your needs, so feel free to contact us anytime with your questions.
Thank you, Alan, for giving us such a useful and informative presentation. And now let's welcome Ms. Valerie Jen. She is the Regional Sales Manager from Scenario. Today, she will be presenting on how Scenario can help with energy industry innovation.
Hi, I'm Valerie from Scenario. I'm glad to be here and share experiences about how Scenario can help with the energy industry innovation with you. Let's start from the development of the energy industry. For over a century, the energy has been centralized. Before, we only had to consider the electricity purely, its production, transmission, and distribution. As we faced climate change, we started thinking about the possibility to stop generating greenhouse gases that contribute to global warming. And then we have renewable energy. It changes energy from centralized to decentralized. Meanwhile, it has complexed the grid management. With the development of renewable energy, we now have virtual power plant ancillary services such as automatic frequency control, faster response resource, and demand response to maintain the stability of our electricity grid. Prediction of both clean energy production and demands becomes important too. So let's talk about clean energy, especially solar energy, which is becoming increasingly common and is one of the fastest growing sources of clean energy. From home rooftops to utility-scale farms, solar power is reshaping energy markets around the world. There are a few reasons why it has grown rapidly. To fight climate change, governments have released supporting policies and regulations to promote renewable energy. Meanwhile, the concept of ESG, which refers to environmental, social, governance, has developed in enterprises worldwide. Not to mention the improvement of technologies such as industrial IoT advances, it definitely helps grow solar energy. However, we are facing some challenges when it comes to solar energy. For example, your assets are getting old and losing efficiency. Or solar energy is intermittent. It will cause an impact on grid stability, so somehow it's unstable. With an energy storage system, it can be non-dispatchable. Well, at the end of the day, when we talk about solar energy, we also need to talk about efficiency. How can we improve the efficiency of solar energy and grid efficiency at the same time? To solve this problem, there's Scenario. Scenario is an AI software company from Taiwan. We are a SaaS company providing innovative software solutions with AI, IoT, and cloud infrastructure. Our goal is to mitigate the IT technology gap in the physical industry, and we create software services by combining domain knowledge and IT technology for business innovation. Scenario is also the strategic partner with NVIDIA. As one of our founding partners, Professor Winston Shi is the director of NVIDIA AI Lab, which is the first in Asia. So, Scenario provides the best solution for solar power plants and other renewable energy monitoring systems around the world. Our core technology is our IT skills to organize massive monitoring data and AI technology to transform the data into informative conclusions for you. Let's take a look at our renewable energy O&M monitoring solution, Photon. Photon is a web-based PV monitoring system. You can easily diagnose with a beautiful power production heat map, or you can do cross comparison between any of your assets and devices. Also, you can simply generate reports with just one click with the report form you desire, and save your time for unnecessary paperwork. Meanwhile, we also have O&M solution. On-site engineers can receive all related information on mobile phones and record working status with fully customized checklist. And supervisors get to assign and organize O&M works neatly in one single platform. Photon is highly integrated with our mobile phone that you can manage your assets anytime and anywhere, from central monitoring of multi-plants to detailed monitoring down to string level. Photon's friendly user interfaces not only provide you any information you would like to see, but also alerts you automatically with an AI-based smart detecting system. So, AI technology, definitely a game changer in the renewable energy industry. Our Photon has amazing AI tools to help you analyze your power plant in every aspect and to discover hidden issues that you may have been missing the whole time and which may not be alerted from the inverter itself. Photon is equipped with various AI detecting and diagnosis modules. These modules collect extensive amount of data and analyze power production status in real time and notify you at the first moment. Our AI diagnosis system not only alerts you about production loss, but also tells you possible root cause. It can also detect issues such as insolation, shading, and salting. And let's take a look at another solution with AI from us, SolarMax. Well, it's common to have unstable PR over 100% due to parameter salting, which makes the most important benchmark in PV plants useless. Regular maintenance work are required, including cleaning and calibration for physical parameters. Also, most of the time, there's no historical irradiance data. Take Taiwan as an example. Only 30 weather stations have parameters. How can we get historical irradiance reference data for specific locations? Well, Scenario might just have a proper solution for you. SolarMax is a virtual parameter which can provide a reference irradiance from global satellite images and metadata for PV plants. So your PV plants require no physical parameter or further calibrating existing parameters. Moreover, SolarMax is able to trace data back to years ago and for any locations, perfectly for evaluating solar plant performance for your investment. Our centralized PV monitoring solution, Photon, was launched at the end of 2017. And after 4 years, it now serves over 2,000 sites with a total installed capacity of 1 gigawatts globally. It has made great strides in the global market from East and East-South Asia, Europe to Middle South America. This is one of our iconic commercial projects located at Taipei Metro Station, Beitou Depot, with 4 megawatts capacity. With our photon monitoring solution, not only one can visualize the green energy achievement to gain publicity, but also help an easier planned maintenance without impacting any activities in the depot. We've also launched beautiful dashboards for Beitou Depot to show the solar PV production and detailed data in real time at the lobby for educational purpose. All the content are able to be changed according to the management team requirements. And here, we have one of our solar farm projects, Green&ICT. Well, Green&ICT is one of the largest independent power producers of renewable energy in Asia-Pacific region. And Green&ICT has selected our photon monitoring solution for reasons such as data accuracy with crystal clear assets conditions, tailor-made dashboards for ground-mounted projects to centralize large plant data. All important data can be easily highlighted at a glance. We also provide building circuit diagrams and I/O control monitoring, so the operator is able to know the current electricity flow and status. Photon structure is highly scalable and without latency when it deals with extensive amount of data. And here we have this famous shopping mall in Thailand. It has installed about 1 megawatt rooftop solar panel. Besides our photon monitoring system, it also applied with our automated zero fit-in control feature, which limits inverter production according to a local regulation. Photon can monitor power consumption in real time, and with AI technology can predict inverter output by edge computing every 10 seconds, and it can control inverters automatically. This shopping mall in Thailand has successfully optimized PV power with our solution. So, how can Scenario help in the future? Our core technology AI and IT skills can be applied in many energy-related services, such as energy forecast, energy market integration, energy management system, and virtual power plant applications. We've also developed the DERMS, which refers to Distributed Energy Resources Management System in Taiwan. And here, we have 3 takeaways for you. Scenario helps save the environment with the power from software and AI technology. And we've strongly involved with innovation and evolution of the renewable energy industry. Last but not the least, Scenario is now looking for value-added partner in Europe, Middle East, and Africa. So that's all for today. Feel free to contact us if you are interested in learning more about Scenario, or you can leave a message on our official website and we will get back to you. That all of us be the part of this change and hope to meet you soon. Again, I'm Valerie from Scenario. Thank you for your attention.
Thanks, Valerie, for giving us this wonderful presentation. We know that it will be invaluable to our audience. And to all of today's participants, we sincerely hope that you have learned a lot from today's topics. Wishing you all a fruitful and engaging webinar. Thank you all for joining us to listen to another series of interesting and informative talks. Don't forget to join us on the 29th of September in the ICT webinars. See you next week.